Hi, blessings and peace. This is Chandra Brundage. This is a session with Shine on May the 6th, 2026. Guys, I am shining and I hope that you are too. I hope that you're shining, that men may see your good works, that your Heavenly Father may be glorified. Whatever that shine might be, my prayer is that God reveal that to you. I've been going from off my YouTube channel for 2 months. Okay. And God been dealing with me so. And to begin, before I move forward, I hope that you're in good spirit. I hope that you're in good health. And I hope that your soul is prospering. On my end, I am basically still in transition when it comes to my health. I'm still in transition when it comes to purpose. And God is not done with me yet. There is no rush. There is no I have to hurry and do such a thing. But God is having his way with me. And I hope that he's having his way with you as well. And I want just to inform some of you that think that everything comes quickly. God can do something really quick, or God can wait on doing something. It reminds me in a biblical book where he allowed Lazarus to die. Come on, somebody. He allowed Lazarus to die. And those of you who know where I am, go to it. I don't have that written in my notes today. I was not even supposed to talk about it. But once again, he allowed Lazarus to die. And he came when he felt like it was time. And that's what I believe what's taking place in my life right now, the transitioning that I'm going through. God is allowing some things to die before he comes in time, because how many of you know he is time? So just based upon what I just told you, how long I've been gone from my YouTube channel, uh, which has been my lighting. I'm trying to get it right, guys, and hopefully that you can see me. I can see myself really well, but this is like a new lighting that I have going on today, and hopefully that you can see. Okay, but God was dealing with me about the 2 months that I was not on my YouTube channel, being in transition and such, as I just mentioned to you, on my health, my strength, my mentality, my focus, my alignment with him, everything that's concerning Shine, everything that's concerning Chandra. Okay. He has been dealing with. And again, I'm not in a rush to show myself any different. And I'm not in a rush to show anyone else different. It's just whenever he, comes and whenever he shows up. Remember, I said he shows up in time because he's time. So whenever he decides to do what he wants to do with me, that will be the time. And again, I'm not rushing anything. And I encourage you not to rush a thing, and not to judge a thing before it's time. There's a passage of scripture that I'm going to go, because it's principle, and because the foundation of Shine, the now factor, which God is dealing with me about revamping some things on my YouTube channel. But the whole foundation of Shine, the now factor, whatever you're going to do for God, do it right now, do it in time before we run out of time. That's a foundational scripture. And basically it's a principle. I always use biblical principles to live out my life. And so, not judging a thing in time, I wanted to share that. Like I said, this is not even something that I was supposed to talk about today. It's a whole different ordeal, what I was going to talk about today. But I feel that this is, that this is something that should be stated, considering that I'm here. Okay, so I'm going to find that, because I want to read it, because I believe it's important. And it helps us realize that we don't have to be in a rush for anything. Like anything that's born out of premature wisdom, premature faith, premature thought. It lacks something. It will lack growth. You know, it will lack growth. It will lack maturity. You know, just like, you know, our children, you know, that we may birth, some of us women, some of us mothers, we have premature births. And those babies, them embryos, sometimes they don't even make it to a certain, you know, stage. And they have to be put back in the embryo have to be put back in the what is that word? I can't think of it right now. Incubator. It will have to be put back into the incubator. And a lot of times we could, you know, birth certain things prematurely, and it has to be put back in that incubator. And I have been there, you know, in my lifetime. I have been there. I don't know about you. That's up to you, whether or not if you will be honest with yourself and, you know, say me too type of thing. That's not why I'm here to see if that happened in your life, but I'm sharing that and to say that, hey, it happened to me. And God had to put me back in the incubator. And he said, no, he said, you ain't ready for that yet. Think it over again. Okay. And try it again. Take another shot at it. You know, he even allowed me to write a book called Take Another Shot. So sometimes when we fail, not being failures, there's a difference between being a failure and failing at something. Because I believe when we fail at something, God will give us another chance, you know, to take that shot again. We see it right now. It's a playoff season, and I see a lot of shots being taken on the court, and the ball doesn't always go in the net. So what do that opponent do? That team player, they take another shot. Sometimes it's at the free throw line, you understand, but sometimes it's taken again from half court. But the point I'm making is that shot is being able to be took again. So don't feel like, you know, you lost because you have to take another shot. We want to take more shots in this season. This is the month of May the 6th, 2026. And the month just started. And so I had to go back for those 2 months that I have not been on my YouTube channel. You know, the months that, you know, he's been dealing with me, restoring my soul, so to speak, my mind and my body. And before I go there for those 2 months, I want to make an affirmation for the rest of the May, the month of May. Okay. And so this is for me. Now, honestly, you can grab a hold to it. You don't have to. It's up to you. It just depends on what position you are in your life right now, whether or not if you want to take a hold to this affirmation. Because I know deep down inside of my soul and my very being that it just doesn't apply to me. This could apply to some of us and sometimes all of us, if we be honest. So I'm going to just real quick make an affirmation on my end to your end for the rest of this month. And so that way, beginning on the 7th of May, which is tomorrow, today's Wednesday, tomorrow's Thursday, you can keep this in mind where you're able to grow. You know what I mean? Mind, body, soul, and spirit. That's what Shining Out Factor is all about. Growing not only in the spiritual aspect, but growing in your mind, growing in your body, growing in your soul, growing in your spirit. Okay? So here's the affirmation. I'm taking back my power and reclaiming my time, my peace of mind, and my focus. Real simple. I'm going to repeat that. Affirmation for the rest of the month of May, starting today until May the 31st to the end of 2026. I'm taking back my power And I am reclaiming my time, my peace of mind, and my focus. Take it for what it's worth. But I'm taking that because God gave me that. I didn't write that date down, but he gave it to me just like that in the past. And he brought it back to my attention on today. So I have to share that because it's necessary and it's important for my growth. And I hope that it will be necessary for your growth, okay, in time to come. So going back to the number 2, I was thinking about it. And as I look, when I got on my YouTube channel today, and I looked back on my last recording, and I said, wow, Chandra, you haven't recorded a session for over 2 months. 2 months and some. Okay. So that had to be back in March. My last recording here on Shining Out Factor was March. Okay. So instantly, and considering that it's been a while, but those of you who might listen to this session today in time or a replay that knows me now, that knew me then, you know that I'm good with words. I might not be good at math. And you know what? I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not good with numbers. And maybe that's why my finances were so jacked up, and God is dealing with me about that. He's healing my finances as we speak. I told you I'm still in transition on a lot of things, and that's one of them. But dealing with that number 2 months, I instantly thought about it. The number 2 and the Spirit of God that dwells within me, instantly I thought about 2 months. Wow. That number 2 on a spiritual note, it represents peace. Now, last month, I lacked peace in some things. The month before that, I lacked peace in some things. The month before that, I lacked peace in things, certain things. But God brought it to my attention. In order for you to go forward, Chandra, for the affirmation, for the rest of this month and the rest of this year, claiming your power, claiming your time, the peace of mind, and the focus, it deals with that number 2. So that number 2 instantly came to me. This is peace. You're going to need peace to continue this way, the way that I gave you, the way that I'm giving you at this moment. God gave me some things in the past, and now he's giving me what I need to continue my growth for this time. Remember I talked about Jesus didn't come on the scene when Lazarus was sick, almost on his deathbed. Like some of us, we are almost on our deathbed in certain things. But God hasn't showed up yet. You've been praying, you've been looking for him, and he ain't showed up yet. But remember I said he'll show up when he feels the need that he needs to show up. Just like Jesus showed up on the scene when Lazarus was already dead. So some of us might say, well, that thing is dead. Why do I need you now, God? Why do I need you for you to show up now when it's already dead? See, we need a different perspective. So going back to that number 2, he told me, he said, you're going to need peace to continue this way. You're going to need stability to continue in this way. You're going to need balance to continue in this way. You're going to need partnership with me to continue in this way. You're going to need harmony with me to continue in this way. Y'all just don't know what God has done for me within the past day. Come on, somebody. I hear it in my spirit. He may not come when you want him, but he's right on time. God was right on time for me within a day's time. And you know what he told me dealing with that number 2? It represents intuition and sensitivity. Dealing with emotional debt. I always used to think, and I had this thought just today. The reason why I'm so emotional, I'm such an emotional person. That can be good for me, and sometimes that can be bad for me. I don't know about you, but I'm just telling you about me. But I see why God put that emotion in me. Emotional debt. Because there is an inner voice within me. He's telling me for divine timing and divine trust. And that number 2 represented confirmation as well. He told me today, I'm confirming and I'm affirming the alignment that your soul is connecting with purpose in me. Can you resonate with that? Think about it. Your intuition, your sensitivity, emotional depth. It represents God's inner voice within you. It represents divine timing. Don't forget Lazarus, divine timing. Jesus showed up in divine timing. Jesus showing up for me right now in divine timing. Yes, I trust that inner voice. God's inner voice within me. I trust that. And I believe that it's aligned with my soul's purpose. You have to trust what God is doing within you. You have to know what he's doing within you. That inner voice is the Spirit of God, which leads me to the session with Shine today, entitled, I Am Spirit. I am spirit. See, this is for those of us who knows the Spirit of God that dwells within us. It doesn't matter what took place in your life. It doesn't matter what's taking place right now. But you have to understand and know the Spirit of God that dwells within you. And you know, it's a sense of boldness too. It's a sense of boldness. It's a sense of confidence. A sense of. You got to catch that. A sense. We have the ability to smell. That's a sense. We have the ability to hear. That's a sense. We have the sense of ability to see. We have the sense of ability to feel. And we have the sense of ability to touch. We have the sensibility to taste. I am spirit. I am bold. I am confident. I am spirit. 1 Corinthians, here's the principle. The 2nd chapter, verses 10 through 11. The Spirit searches all things. When somebody tell you that you know too much, you think you know too much, let it be. My grandma always told me, and I sent a shout out to my grandmother, Dr. Mary P. Johnson, Prophetess Mary P. Johnson, Pastor Mary P. Johnson. She always used to tell me, know what you know, that you know it. Nobody can take that from you. I am spirit. 1 Corinthians 2, 10 and 11. Practical principle. I'm applying this to me. God gave me revelation on it, so I'm applying this to me. Where my soul rests and resides at this moment. And again, it said the spirit searches all things. So when somebody tells you you think you know everything, let it be, because the spirit searches all things. I am spirit. So I'm going to search it out. I'm going to research that thing. I'm going to dissect that thing. And that's how you will know when people lie to you, when they try to cheat you, when they try to disqualify you, misuse you, deceive you. I am spirit. I know it. I know what you're doing and what you're trying to do. And it comes to my mind when the Last Supper, when Jesus was with his disciples, he said, one of you are going to, what's the word I'm looking for? Lord help me. Let me go there. Because I got to get it how it was supposed to be perceived. I got to get it. Here it is, betray. All right? And that is, here's the principle, Matthew 26 and 21. Jesus said, he told his disciples, he said, one of you, truly I tell you, one of you will betray me. There's some people out there are trying to betray you. Betraying to be somebody else. Betraying to act like somebody else. Betraying to love you. Betraying to like you. And in all reality, they can't stand you. But they are in need of something, just like Judas. He was in need of money. He wanted money. So you got to be careful. And this is what God is revealing to me right now in spirit. I am spirit. The spirit searches all things. I'll get back to that principle here in a minute. But Judas was in need of something. If there is any type of betrayal, this is what God is saying now in my spirit. There is always a need before there is betrayal. So Judas was in need of that money, so he betrayed Jesus for 32 pieces of silver. There's always going to be need before betrayal. I am spirit. So we always have to be careful, and we always have to watch. You got to watch. And you got to take heed to that inner voice on what it's telling you. So yeah, that's the point that I want to make with that. I went there because I didn't want to say that it said, the word of God said, or Jesus said such a thing. No, Matthew 26 and 21. Jesus said that. He said, one of you will betray me. So remember, if your spirit being entwined, like my grandma would say, being aligned with God himself, you know a thing because God showed it to you before it happens. And while it's happening, the spirit searches all things, including the deep things of God and thoughts of God, acting as the agent of revelation for spiritual wisdom. Now, I don't know about you guys, But I've been a fool in my life. Knowing the truth and accepting the lie. You can, like I said, Jesus knew that Judas was a deceiver. You've been meeting up with me all this time, and you got plans to betray me. Oh, what a shame! But guess what? Some old what a shames are purposeful. It was purposeful for Jesus to get crucified. And it might be purposeful for you to be crucified in certain things, because it will bring purpose to you and purpose to others. Talking about spiritual wisdom. I am spirit. 1 Corinthians 2:10 and 11. The Spirit illuminates believers, me, and some of you, allowing us to comprehend, meaning to understand truths. Somebody can tell you a lie. You can look right at them and tell that they lied. I remember when my son was a child, and a shout out to my son, wonderful man of God. Blessings and peace, son. I love you, and you know it. I used to tell him, now if you tell me the truth, you're not going to get a whooping. But if you lie, you got to get a whooping, because you got to learn how to tell the truth. And that's what a lot of us have to do. Just tell the truth and shame yourself. You don't have to shame the devil. He already shameful. Just tell the truth. Be honest. Come on. The Spirit eliminates believers, us, some of us, allowing us to comprehend, understand truths that are beyond human reasoning. The things that are beyond human reasoning is that spirit of deception, the spirit of falsehood, false made to believe. And when I say truth, I'm not talking about my truth, your truth. I'm talking about God's truth. Him alone. Him alone. His character. That's truth. And beyond human reasoning, truth beyond human reasoning, effectively. Meaning we talk about perfection here. Without false or error. This is God himself. God don't make mistakes. Remember, the Spirit searches all things. I am spirit. Spirit of boldness. Spirit of confidence. The spirit of senses. The spirit of senses. And sometimes you can deal with people and they don't want you to think. They want you to stay in the dark, which brings me to the spirit that illuminates. What's illumination? Darkness to light. Sometimes people want you to stay in the dark with their foolishness. But God said, come out of darkness. Come out. Just come out. You understand what I'm saying? Just come out. You be knowing the lies. Come out of that. Align yourself up with the truths of God. You know, because if you know you being lied to, and if you perceive to walk in that lie, you might as well be a lie too. Come on, somebody. The Spirit also acts as omnipotent guide. Omnipotent. Universal. Knowing everything. You can't be deceived if you're a spirit. Don't worry about what people do. Don't worry about what people say. I am spirit. If you can identify with that, you say it. I am spirit. That's why you don't have to worry about what people say. And that's why you don't have to worry about what people do. Because the Spirit searches all things without fault or error, beyond human reasoning. deception and falsehood. Come on. I am spirit. Understand and believe that you do not have to walk in darkness because somebody else walking in darkness. Come out of darkness. And I say to you all, those of you who might be here with Shine right now, with this session with Shine on May the 6th at 3:42 p.m. on the Wednesday, those of you who might hit the replay, listen, let no one fool you or talk you out of who God called you to be and what he has called you to do. Don't be no fool. My grandma used to always tell me, don't take no wooden nickels. And I can tell you, I've taken some wooden nickels. But with my affirmation today, and I'll share it with you again, I'm taking back my power, reclaiming my time, my peace of mind, and my focus. And before I let you go, because I'm done with this session today, so excited that God gave me the strength and he gave me the virtue to come on live today because it's been 2 months. Remember that word peace. 2 represents peace, stability, balance, partnership, harmony, intuition and sensitivity, emotional depth, trusting your inner voice, divine timing and trust, confirmation, meaning affirming what is to be true, aligned with your soul and my soul's purpose. Remember that. Let it not be another day that you waste time outside of your gift, outside of your talents, outside of your calling, your purpose. And I said it in time, and I'll say it now. It's not going to look the same for everybody. And to be honest with you, in time past, for me, I've always been in the 4 walls of a church. But it doesn't look the same for me in the season of my life now. And I'm not apologizing for it at all. I'm going to consistently live with purpose and on purpose. That's what my aim is for the rest of my life. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Unapologetically. So, before I go, guys, I'm going to share with you things you can take to heart concerning your purpose. And these are some things that I'm taking to heart right now. And not only, guys, dealing with your purpose, but dealing with triggers. Triggers are something that gets you off alignment because of maybe you've been hurt before that caused pain. So those wounds, if they resurface in life, and sometime, majority of the time they will, it happens in seasons. When they resurface, I just want to give you some things to think about, to stay in purpose and to stay in alignment. Because when you're triggered, you get out of alignment. And it will cause you to be detoured, and it will cause you to deviate from purpose and destiny, like I did. hmm So here we go. Number one, don't rush a process that requires space. Space is a necessity, it's a need. And honestly, I am just not starting to realize that for my own sanity, for my own well being. Space is needed. I've always been a people's person, always want everybody to be happy, where I became a people's pleaser. Well, I just want everybody to be pleased with me. What I do, what I say, not no more. Unapologetically, not no more. You either for me or you're not. Whether I'm walking in your path where you think I'm supposed to be or not. hmm So yeah, don't rush the process. Remember I was talking about Lazarus at the beginning? Jesus didn't rush on the scene because Lazarus was on his deathbed. He was sick. He waited clean cut when Lazarus had no breath in him. And I believe in my life and in some of your lives, God gonna wait till the very breath of a thing is gone, and then he gonna show up. So you don't have to rush the process. The 2 months I've been gone off the scene, yeah, I'm here now. hmm and have been and consistently being resurrected and being restored. So yeah, don't rush a process that requires space. Give yourself some time. It's okay. You don't gotta prove nothing to nobody. Number two, forgiving is not healing. Remember, being triggered in life, and triggers are going to come. It's wherever that pain was created. It happened in environments too. Being around certain people and being around certain environments can trigger you. hmm So, from that pain, you might forgive, but it's not going to heal you. So, that's why it takes space and time to be restored from whatever pain it might be. Consider what I'm saying. Number three, anger settled doesn't mean your nervous system forgets. See, when you go through a lot of pain and hurt, you become angry. You become bitter. That settles down. And then it affects your nervous system. You're always on the edge. You know, when you're around certain people and you feel like, just to describe this, it's like a knot in your stomach. It's something that person could have done to you, something that person could have said. Yeah. Number four, spirit. Remember, we talked about I am spirit. 1 Corinthians 2:10 and 11 searches all things. Spirit is at peace. Spirit is at peace, but your body remembers. Talking about the triggers. I was just giving you something to move your growth along, because a lot of times we get stagnated. Remember, I told you triggers can stagnate us. We fall off. We get misaligned. So the spirit is peace. So those of us who may not have the peace of God, because God is peace and God is love. Peace, he gives us peace that passes our understanding. So if we don't have peace, that means we have to go back and we have to check what's going on in our lives. You know, we have to see who we're aligned with and what we're aligned with. And I know this is God speaking. Number 5, responding to an environment. Remember, I just said certain triggers come from environments. And God was dealing with me yesterday too. He said, you have to be exposed to another environment. And a lot of times you do too. Sometimes our gifts, our talents, the good that's within don't come out until we get resurfaced. Until we get moved out of one place to the next. Responding to an environment that taught you pain. Talk about the triggers. We want to stay in alignment. Not that triggers won't come, because they're going to come. But what Shine is trying to help you with, as well as myself, how to respond to the triggers. We respond to triggers by not rushing the process, remember? That requires peace. We respond to triggers by knowing the difference in forgiving and healing. We're responding to triggers by not allowing anger to settle because it affects our nervous system. We're responding to triggers by allowing the spirit to give peace that passes our understanding and allowing our body to remember. Sometimes it's frustrating and sometimes it's uneasy when your body remembers a thing, when your mindset focuses on pain and hurt. But that's just the process that we have to get through to heal. You know, we responding to triggers because we want to stay aligned. Knowing that forgiveness is a decision, but trust is a process. Maybe it's going to take a little bit longer for you to trust versus forgive. You know why I say that? Because the Our Father prayer, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive us our debtors. I got to go say that again. Forgive us our debts as we forgive us our debtors. Meaning, God ain't going to forgive you if you don't forgive. So that's why forgiveness is a decision. It's important that we forgive. But it will take a lifetime sometime to for a person to earn your trust back. Trust is a process. That's how we're dealing with triggers. Making a decision to forgive, but allowing trust to be a process. Because why? Forgiveness, it doesn't erase memory. But it does releases you to not want to retaliate. Catch that, somebody, because I know some of you who might catch this replay, some of you that might be watching now, you want revenge every time. Oh, they did this and they did that. I'm going to get them back. You don't have to do that. God said, vengeance is mine and I will repay. So forgiveness doesn't erase memory, remember, but it releases you from wanting revenge. You got to be wise. Jesus was strategic when he told his disciples, one of you going to betray me. God is strategy. We looking for a strategy, but God is strategy. So some of us and those of us who may not be as close to him, if you need strategy, you gotta get close to him. Number 8, we dealing with triggers to stay aligned and not to get off course in this season. Knowing this, some environments tries to rewrite our reality. But being connected to the Spirit of God, we are aware of that. So what do we have to do? We sometimes we gotta come out from those environments. Sometimes we have to disconnect from some people. Yeah. And put some distance in between there. Because distance is needed for growth. Stay wise. What is wisdom? Knowing and being aware. That's from my spirit. But that's what it is. Being aware, knowing, and putting an action to it. Because we can know and we can be aware of something, but if we never act on it, then that's not wisdom. Knowing the difference between familiarity and safety. We could be so used to being around people that's familiar. We could be so used to being around places that's so familiar, but it's not always safe. Thank you, Jesus. Help me. Help me, Lord. It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. Not my mama, not my sister, not my brother, not my cousin, not my husband, not my wife, but it's me standing in the need of prayer. And lastly, guys, we're dealing with triggers to stay out of alignment, into alignment, choosing heart, not to choose heart over discernment. Because Jeremiah talks about it. The heart is so deceitful. It's wicked. Have you ever heard ever fooled you and believing something that really wasn't true? Mine did. And then I thought back, like, wow, what in the world? Look, what in the world? A quick plug. Guys, I am firm on gut health, core health. So get you some lemon water. It'll do you some good. But yeah, we're dealing with triggers in this season to stay in alignment and not out of alignment by choosing discernment over heart. Because making a decision based upon what my heart feels could bite you in your tail. It can come back around and bite you in your tail. And then you got to go through this whole revamp of healing, whole revamp of restoration. Come on. If we can get it the first time, let's try to get it the first time. It may not be the case. We may have to come around for the second time to get it. But again and again and again and again, we haven't learned anything. So I am spirit. It's what we talked about here on Shining Out Factor today. Session with Shine today was about the boldness and the confidence that the Spirit of God gives us, the senses that he gives. And we want to be in continuous consideration of God's Spirit, because the Spirit searches all things, including the deep things of God and the thoughts of God, acting as the agent of revelation for spiritual wisdom. We want to be wise. The Spirit illuminates, bringing dark to lightness, illuminates believers. If I believe that I am spirit, I am spirit. It's a principle. Receive, God giveth, and we receive. Wisdom is a gift. He gives it, but it's up to us to receive it. And it also allows believers to comprehend, meaning understand truths, God's truth. Don't forget. And they are beyond human reasoning. All that deception, all that falsehood, beyond human reasoning, effective. Talking about perfection. God is only perfect one. Not me, not you, none other but him. Without falseness or error. I might just made up a word, falseness. But I'm going to consider it. Or error. Acting as an omnipotent God, knowing everything. You want to get in on knowing everything. You want to get in on the Spirit. Mm-hmm. And I hear it in my spirit. They that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. We have to want to, we have to want the things of God. Everything that God presents to us, sometimes we don't always receive it. It's neglected. Have I ever neglected the things of God? Oh yeah. Have I ever rejected the things of God? Yes, I have. It brought me nothing but pain. So that omnipotent guide, knowing everything, that's universal. And remember, guys, I shared with you also how we're going to deal with triggers. And that's not rushing a process that requires space. Knowing the difference between healing and forgiving. Not allowing anger to settle because it affects our nervous system. I'm repeating this for those of you who may just have connected with Shine today. Aligning yourself up with the Spirit of God to receive peace that passes all understanding. And allowing our body to remember. Because our bodies will remember, but it doesn't mean that we have to dwell there. Learning how to respond to environments that taught us pain. Making sure we understand and know that forgiveness is a decision and trust is a process. Knowing that forgiveness doesn't erase memory, as I already remember. Memory, body remembers, and our mindset remembering. Because we don't want to retaliate. We don't want to, have revenge, but we want to remain wise. Don't allow environments to rewrite your reality. God already purposed you, set you up on a foundation. If you know your purpose and destiny, but if you don't, my prayer is that God reveal that to you. But God already gave me a purpose. He already gave me destiny. And to allow somebody or an environment to rewrite that, shame on me. That's why we have to know Spirit. And remember, don't forget distance. Distance is necessary for growth. Having wisdom is becoming aware and putting action to it. Don't mistake familiarity with safety. And because I feel this thing, doesn't mean that it's aligned with purpose. That's where the spirit of discernment comes in. Mm-hmm. We can be spiritual without being practical. And my point is, we want to be spiritual and practical. Spirituality and spirit, I am spirit, is who I am. I am spirit. And being practical is what I do. Being led by the spirit that's within me. Remember, I spoke about being guided. And remember earlier I talked about that number 2, what it represented, and 1 was intuition and sensitivity, emotional depth, and trusting that inner voice. So don't forget, guys, if you feel that you are not spirit, there's ways that you can search for him. He is spirit. Search for him. Open your mind, open your heart, open your body, open your soul to receive. And I hope that something was said today that you could use, that you could apply. Because I know that I was open to what God was saying to me, and I shared it, and I hope that you can shine with it. Shine that men may see your good works, that your Heavenly Father may be glorified. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to comment. Don't forget to subscribe. If you subscribe, what that will do is put my feed, my content in the way. I'm going to put it like that, in the way. So if it's in the way, you can see it in the way. The way that you go, you can see it in the way. So as you searching on YouTube, it'll be in the way. You will see it. You will see the content. You will see it. So that way, others could see it as well. And we could become more acquainted. And I lastly will say, my YouTube channel, it will be changing, because I have a lot of things that I really desire to do when it comes to fitness and worship. We worship God according to 1 John 3rd chapter 1 and 2. Beloved, above all, I wish that thou prosper and be in health, even as I so prosper. So that's a way of worshiping him. But more of that at another time. But I speak blessings and peace to you. And may the blessings of the Lord make it rich in your life. May it add no sorrow. I gotta go. Okay? So until we meet again, have a wonderful Wednesday.